like to take a moment to honor one of Mohawk Mountaineers' former players, Owen McGinnis. Owen was a member of the Mountaineers volleyball program during the 2019-2020 season and tragically passed away. Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. If you please remove your hats for the playing of O Canada. It is now time to meet tonight's starting lineup, beginning with the visiting Mohawk Mountaineers. From Burlington, Ontario, number 1, Emma Black. From Hamilton, number 2, Katie Lashley. Also from Hamilton, number 4, Cynthia Colliard. From Welland, number 7, Megan Batterjee. From Burlington, number 13, Megan Staley. From Hamilton, number 14, Olivia Rosewell. And also from Hamilton, number 19, Ashley Gibbons. The head coach for the Mohawk Mountaineers is Jenny Pellegrino. Now please direct your attention to the end line as we introduce the starting lineup for your Niagara Knights. From Eden Minor High School in Niagara Falls, Ontario, number 1, Tess Kelly. From Eden High School in St. Catharines, number 2, Montana Taylor. From St. Francis Catholic School in St. Catharines, Ontario, number 3, Abby Gooder. From Hilltop High School in Whitehorse, Alberta, number 7, Ivy Baxter. From Sir Winston Churchill in St. Catharines, number 8, Jan Portier.
Good afternoon, Happy New Year, and welcome back inside the Simply Financial Athletic Center for today's OCAA Women's Volleyball matchup. I'm Noah Vogel, alongside me, Alex Vandenhack, and today it's the Niagara College Knights taking on the Mohawk Mountaineers. And what a great start for newly head coach Jenny Pellegrino, who has taken over this Mohawk College team. 8-4 in the first half of the season. They beat NC at home in their last meeting, and NC going to look for some revenge here today.
Yeah, Mohawk has also lost 4 of their last 5, so sliding going into the new year. They lost 3-1 on Wednesday versus Fanshawe at home, but it sucks to go into the break losing 3 or 4 at the time and now losing 4 or 5, looking to get their first W. Both of these teams looking to get their first W of 2025.
So here we go with the first serve. It's passed up by Delohi. They'll go to the outside. Little took a little bit off. It's kept alive by the Mountaineers. They'll throw over a free ball. Taylor pushing to the outside, off the net. Baxter having to play it over. Great dig and kept alive once again. Mohawk going to put over another free ball. What can NC do with it? They'll go to the back row this time. Gooder, a great swing out of the back. And Mohawk this time will dump it short. Delohi with a good get. Tipped over by Kelly. And now Mohawk will try the other way. It's kept alive once again. Great rally to start off this game, and Gooder, not enough on it, finds the net.
Yeah, that was a great rally to start off 2025 for the Knights, despite the error there from Abby Gooder, but can't really complain about that effort.
Serving for Mohawk, Megan Battersby, Welland, Ontario native in her first year for Mohawk, and Taylor was tight on the net, was able to reel in the Mohawk middle, and that time a violation on the net from the Mountaineers. It's going to be NC side out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see if we'll see a little bit of rust from both of these teams, especially Niagara. Obviously, there was some exhibition games being played, but the best way to shake off the rust is actually playing legitimate, real regular season games.
Tight on the net once again, and they're going to catch Battersby over the net. So 2-1 start here for the Knights. And we talked about Mohawk College in their first half of the season. NC 7-4 in their first 11 games here this 2024-25 season. A big hit out of the middle from Ashley Gibbons, and she's got her first kill here this afternoon. And as I was saying, a decent start for this women's volleyball team here at NC, and maybe not exactly what they wanted. They had a couple losses, especially last time they faced against Mohawk, where they thought they probably could have came out victorious, as they'll try to do here today. Off the block, and it's scrambled, kept alive. They'll put over a free ball. Delohi with hands this time. She'll throw it to the outside. Gooder gonna have to roll one into the pot. Nice tip there by Sophia Spoljar, and a good play to reel in the NC block and just tip it over and find the line.
Well, Noah, you mentioned the Knights had a couple of losses that they probably wish they could have back, but you know, this is the time where you need to play your best volleyball because the playoffs are right around the corner.
That time Mohawk finds the net, and a service error will bring us back to square one. 3-3 here.
And if I'm going to get my mistakes out, I want them to get out of the way at the start of the season. Now for Mohawk, they've lost 4 of their last 5, as I'd mentioned, so getting into the rough patch at the midway point of the season is not the best.
And they've already had an OCAA game to start 2025. They faced off against Fanshawe midweek, where they lost that one against the Falcons, and up in the net, Gooder comes together with Cormier, and a big block by NC. It's 4-3 now for the home side.
Yeah, to your point about Mohawk facing off against Fanshawe, both of these two teams are done with Fanshawe for the rest of the season. Both teams splitting their 2-game set against Fanshawe. Fanshawe 5-7 throughout the first 12.
Tess Kelly with a long serve. That one sails out the back. And another thing for the Knights, you see a lot of the same faces we saw starting games in 2024, but some players coming back from injury that they had that little time over the Christmas break to get back healthy, and so we see a couple new faces on the bench here this afternoon. We'll see if they get any minutes here today. Baxter out of the right side, and just a little too far out the back. And we see her taking over that right side role. Kylie Baxter, kind of a jack of all trades. We see her play libero left side, and now here today on the right side.
Well, versatility in really any sports is very, very valuable. When you have a player like Kylie who can play all over, it's very, very...
Taylor gonna go back to Baxter, and a good reach. And she finds the hole in the Mohawk defense. And 5-5 the score now. She'll go back serving. Baxter serve, a good pass out of the back by Rosewell. Baxter getting down to get that tip to go to Gooder on the outside. She tries to tip herself. It was read well by Battersby. Swung on the outside, no touches, as Mohawk was looking for a tip off the block, none coming, and side out NC.
Yeah, very even start so far. Obviously, these two teams probably don't like each other, and similar records, so I'm excited for this one down the stretch.
Almost catches the back corner, did Kylie Baxter, but a little too long. And Mohawk ties things up once again. Here's Ashley Gibbons serving for the Mountaineers. Her floater, a deep one, played with hands by Little. Cormier on the outside. Mohawk will go to the middle. Delohe got a touch. They couldn't keep it alive. And a good play by Maggie Galen out of the middle.
Noah, you talk about getting some players back from injury. Sam Cormier missed some time down the stretch going into the new year, but good to have her back. A big game, both figuratively and literally.
Gibbons can't find the court, that one out. And a service error from Mohawk will tie things up here 7-7. There's Abby Gooder serving for NC. And quite the start she had to her season with an ace there on her first service attempt this game. Had one game in 2024, 31 kills she recorded, and the amount of attempts she's been getting on the outside than she's been putting away. She's been excellent, and would be surprised if we see her on the All-Star team near come the end of the season. Mohawk able to play it off the block. Spoljar over top. That one comes right at us here in the broadcast booth off of Natalie Little. And nonetheless, side out for Mohawk. Here's Sofia Spoljar serving for the Mountaineers. Baxter gonna have to help it out, and NC gonna throw over a free ball. Tough one for Gibbons to get. And she's gonna have to play it off the net, rolling over top, and Cormier able to get it down, but the Mountaineers will try once more. A dig from Delohe. Little off the net, and a good touch again by Mohawk. Taylor on the 2-ball, turns around and fires it down. Another good rally. Mohawk playing really well defensively. The Knights able to match it, and they come away with the point now 9-8.
Yeah, this game feels like it's going to go all the way down to the wire throughout the whole, all 4, potentially 5 sets. There's no way this doesn't go to at least 4 sets. A rivalry game, first game back for Niagara.
Beck passes off the net. They'll have to help it out. And Galen will throw over a free ball. Taylor going to go to the outside. Little. And Beck able to play it up off the block. Battersby to the outside. Beck able to cover on the block once more. Mohawk tries again, and Gibbons finds the net. And NC sides out now with a 2-point lead. Here's Sam Cormier's serve, passed up by Beck. Battersby with a tough set over to the outside. Cormier getting down. Kelly chasing for it and wasn't able to keep it alive. A great tip over the net by Maggie Galen on the right side. She'll go back serving now. Delohe passes. Taylor on the run, was able to get it to the back row, and a good swing out of the back, but it's dug up. Gibbons on the outside. That one looked like it was sailing out, but Gooder, a good dig to keep it up. Off the top of the tape came off of Baxter, and the Mountaineers gonna have to throw over another free ball. Here comes NC to the middle. Kelly tipping over. Spoljar out of the back row. Gooder with another dig. Little. Off hands and down, and NC takes another long rally, 11-9 here in set number 1.
Yeah, that's about the second or third long rally between these two teams. I'm interested to see if one of these two teams will call a timeout maybe a little bit early because of these rallies and fatigue setting in from the long rallies.
Subbing in now for the Knights, Larissa Schipper coming in for Kylie Baxter in the front row. Montana Taylor, tough serve into the back corner, was passed up well by Beck, down the line, and Taylor with a big dig. Mohawk will go to the middle. Kept alive, they'll have to throw over a free ball. Little just gets it over, and Beck will have to help out with hands. That one a little too far, tight on the net, put down by Kelly. And now NC taking their biggest lead, 12-9 here in set number 1.
Yeah, that was a perfectly placed ball there. Nothing that Sofia Spoljar could do about that one.
Taylor, another good serve. That one tight on the net. Shipper puts it down, but Mohawk keeps it alive. They couldn't keep it on their own side. So another side out here for the Knights, and Taylor looking to go on a bit of a run. Not before the Mountaineers take a timeout here. Their first one of set number 1, down 4 here. And so far, NC just doing the basics better. Their serving has been excellent. And Montana Taylor, again, a big part of that. We talked to her grandfather just before the game. He came by to talk to us, and kind of what a journey she's had. She's technically in her 6th year here at NC, only 5 technically that, you know, she's been eligible to play. She got that eligibility back from that COVID season where she didn't play enough games in that season. It allowed her to come back and play one more here at NC. Taking a look at the replay from that last point. And, you know, she's been such a backbone for this team as well, that setter role, and, you know, a great leader as well on and off the court. And so far, she's helped lead her team to a 4-point lead here.
Well, that's the thing with, at this level, when she's in year 5, technically year 5, but year 6, she's almost the captain of this team on and off the court, but you don't really see her get too high or too low. She's always level-headed, and that's what you need if you want to win a championship, because there's going to be highs and lows in the season.
Taylor this time iced out of the timeout. She sends that one out the back. So Mohawk gets exactly what they would have wanted out of their first timeout here. And now it's Megan Battersby serving for Mohawk. Delohe gonna have to help out as Little couldn't get that one up cleanly. Battersby gonna go to the outside. Great swing from Olivia Rosewell, and she finds the gap between the block, and Mohawk get 2 quick points out of the timeout.
Well, that's the way you want to start, especially coming out of that timeout. Niagara building some momentum and Mohawk responding.
Battersby serve, a tough get by Delohe, but a good pass nonetheless. Kelly tight on the net, couldn't keep it in play. And Mohawk have now found themselves only 1 point back here, 3 straight for them. Megan Battersby, like I said, first year from Welland, Ontario, went to school just down the road from the college, St. Jean de Brébeuf High School.
Bit of a homecoming.
Shipper out of the middle and caught Mohawk on the net. And Marissa Shipper getting into the action here as Montana Taylor finding her out of the middle. 14-12 now. Here's Natalie Little serving.
Well, no, we talk about experience. When I'm looking at my 2 sheets, Niagara definitely has the advantage with service time compared to the Mountaineers.
Gibbons on her offside. She is able to keep it up just barely. And a couple of attempts at the net to try and get that one over, but wasn't able to do so for Mohawk, so NC able to regain their 3-point lead here. Little serve. Shallow get to the middle. Gibbons! This time in her home, she finds the gap between the NC defense. And a big side out for Mohawk, now cutting the lead to 2.
Yeah, that's now a 4-2 run for Mohawk coming out of the timeout, getting closer to the 25-point mark.
Little overpass, Spoljar straight down. And Mohawk seems to have an answer for NC every time they push. And keeping it real close near this midpoint. Well, past the midpoint here in set number 1. 15-14, NC still up. Cross-court serve almost caught Kelly. She was able to get it up. Shipper plays it off of the down ball, and NC gonna have to play over a free ball. Mohawk can take advantage. They'll go to Gibbons out of the middle. Good get from Taylor. They'll have to help it out to Kelly. And Battersby able to keep it alive. Spoljar coming across. Fanned on it a little bit, but fooled Natalie Little enough to get the point for Mohawk. And now we're tied up here, 15-all. Olivia Rosewell, pardon me, Alex, serving.
If you want to do big things in this league, you're going to have to respond, and that's exactly what Mohawk's done here.
Little tight to the net for Gooder, and she wasn't able to get it over, so Mohawk take the lead. And Steve Sohn's going to call a timeout here, down 1. His first here in set number 1. And Mohawk has completely flipped the script here after their first timeout, and they now lead here 16-15.
100% right, Noah. And to my point about almost responding to other runs, if you want to, like I said, if you want to do big things in this league, that's how you have to play. And Mohawk obviously has lost 4 of their last 5 this season, or excuse me, in the last 5. So them responding in this game has been good, because in that locker room, it's probably not too many smiles as we get a replay of that last point, but
it was tough to see there. That play was a little earlier in the set, and Tess Kelly on the outside was just trying to loop it around the block, and tough angle for us to see whether that was in or out. It was called out and kind of changed the momentum for Mohawk, because that continued their run here to give them the lead here in set number 1.
yeah, whether if it was or wasn't, you have to play through it. And the Knights didn't really have too much of a reaction to that call, but it's a part of the game. Missed calls, potentially.
So out of the timeout, Little able to pass it to the back row. They'll go to Shipper out of the middle. Great take by Beck. Gibbon puts it over on 2. Delohi taking hands will go to Gooder. Little too much on it. And finds the outside of the court. And Mohawk continue here out of the timeout. And Olivia Rosewell serving once again. The Mountaineers just doing the basics better here. Their passing and serve have been much better as they get another point here off a tough Rosewell serve that can't be handled so far by the Knights.
Going back to that first timeout, Noah, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 9-2 run here for Mohawk.
And Rosewell puts that one out the back, so NC maybe looking to build some momentum here. We'll see a substitution as Charlie Strudel will check in for Tess Kelly. She's going to go back and serve. We see her a lot in games for NC coming into the latter half of the set to come in and sub-serve, and she's been excellent so far this season, looking to do the same here at the start of 2025. That one goes out, and announcer's jinx as I completely screwed that one up for her, and she'll get subbed out.
It's funny, you mentioned Charlize Strudel. She's only in year 1, and she's had some moments where she's started some games, and she's looked really, really good. So I'm really excited for her future for the next couple years here at Niagara. I think she's going to be a big piece of the puzzle.
19-16, that serve coming in from Rattray, who was dug up by NC, and that pass was a little too low to the ground for Galen to keep it up, and NC able to sign out once again. Baxter's going to check back in as she comes into the back row to serve. Baxter serve a good one. They'll go to the outside. Gibbons dug up by Little. Delohi chasing for it and couldn't get it up and keep it in play. Another big hit on the outside from Ashley Gibbons. She's been deadly from all spots of the court. She's had a couple kills on the left side, couple kills in the middle, and now a big kill on the right side. And the Mountaineers now pushing 5 here. 20-17 they lead. And this time she puts it into the net and gives the point right back to NC. So the Knights need to put some points here together to try and get back into this one.
Yeah, it's right in that zone where you're still right in it, but you need to get something going right now.
Standing flow from Gooder, passed up. They'll go to the outside, and Delohi with a big dig. Little, oh wow, what a get by Beck. And the Mountaineers just defensively have been all over NC in this one. Low set for Cormier, have to roll it over. They'll go to the middle, tipped over. Wow, Delohi getting down, keeps it alive once more. Mohawk to Spoljar on the outside, and she finds the net. NC with answers to the Mohawk Mountaineers on that play. And a huge point as they gain momentum here, down 1. Gooder's floater, a deep one. Beck traveling back, able to get a pass over. Spoljar took a touch, so Gooder had to play it. That one was going out. Gibbons, a tough one to get. They'll have to put it over on 2. And whistle blown down. They're going to say, I believe Mohawk might have been on the net that time. So NC ties it here 2020.
Good response here for Niagara. Over the last little bit, I had mentioned it was kind of in the zone where it could get a little bit out of hand, but great response. And both of these teams have thrown punches and responded. Got to give both teams a ton of credit.
Gooder sends that one out the back. And Mohawk takes the advantage once again. And NC, not a lot of missed serves here in this first set, but a couple big ones here in this final quarter of set number 1. And Mohawk gives it right back. As Sophia Spoljar puts that one into net, we'll see Jenna Main, part of B, check in for Sam Cormier. She's going to go back and serve. Main's floater passed up well by Beck. They'll go to the outside. A tough shot across for Maggie Galen, and she can't keep it in the court. And now NC's got the advantage, 22-21. Main serve to the back corner. Beck gonna have to help it out. Into the block. Little keeps it alive. Back row this time for Spoljar. Straight down off the block. Tess Kelly gets up with hands. And a huge play. NC now pushing 2, and Mohawk's going to have to call their second timeout.
Great rejection there from Tess Kelly, getting up there at the line. 23-21 here for the Knights. 1 timeout remaining for Niagara. Mohawk using their second and final, so we'll see how that last timeout is used throughout. But one thing to note, no Hannah Cowie in this one so far. For Niagara, her minutes have been kind of sporadic at times. She's been dealing with some injuries at times, but a little bit surprised we haven't seen her.
Tess Kelly doing a great job on that play. As Battersby didn't have a lot of options, she went to Spoljar. The back row has been swinging really, really well on the left side, and this time she got stuffed as we take a look at it one more time. Tess Kelly. And last season in her rookie year was excellent up at the net. We won't have that replay for you, unfortunately, but Tess Kelly getting up once again in a huge block here at the late stages of set number 1. 23-21, NC leading. Jenna Main, who's subbed in for Sam Cormier in the middle, serving once again. Beck passes off the net. They'll go to the outside. Rosewell, cross-court shot is dug up by Main. Spoljar to the back row, and Rosewell will have to roll that one over. Gooder with a good dig. Little through the hands and down. Natalie Little has put NC 1 point away here from a set number 1 win. Main serve passed up. Battersby gonna go to Rosewell on the outside. Block to get at the net. It's Montana Taylor and Tess Kelly coming together. And NC takes set number 1, 25-21. They had led for the most of that first part of that set. And Mohawk pushed back, but NC resilient. And they come away with a 4-point win, 25-21, the final score. This final point, just putting it all together up in the net. Tess Kelly, as well as Montana Taylor, with a huge block.
Yeah, Tess Kelly, like you said, Tess Kelly and Montana Taylor, excuse me. They've been really dominant at the line here in this one. A big difference as to why Niagara won that first set. And usually you'd see a lot of Sam Cormier at the net, where she's made a living, but hasn't quite done that in that first set. But if they can get her going as well, it's going to be a tough tough match for Mohawk.
So set number 1 goes to the home side. NC winning their first OCAA set of the 2025 calendar year here against the Mohawk Mountaineers. I'm Noah Vogel, alongside me, Alex Van Den Hack, for first game back here the new year at the Simply Financial Athletic Center. And if that sets like anything we should be prepared for the coming, it should be a very exciting game. Very, very close. A lot of long rallies in that set to begin this one.
Well, whenever these two teams, Mohawk and Niagara, get together, regardless of the sport, you know it's going to be a good game. Rivalry games always bring the best out of these two teams, and both of these teams have similar records. 8-4 for Mohawk, Niagara 7-4. But Mohawk has been struggling a bit recently. They've lost 4 of their last 5, including a game on Wednesday at home, 3-1 versus Fanshawe, who is 5-7 now on the season. So definitely a game that they probably could have and should have won. But I'd mentioned that if you're going to get your mistakes out, you want to get them out now, or preferably a little bit earlier before you go into the playoffs.
And NC really turned up their defense, which led to that huge swing on the outside from Natalie Little, which was dug up by Emma Beck, who was excellent. One of the veteran players on this Mohawk team, 3rd year out of Burlington, Ontario, at a libero position. She was really, really good in that first set. And you talked about the skid Mohawk kind of had in the end of 2024 and the start in their first game against Fanshawe. Their last 5 games, they've lost 4 games. Before that, they were 7-0, and now they're 8-4. So certainly not the way they wanted to end 2024, but they can turn it around here and try and sweep NC. But now they're going to have to do it down 1-0 as we get ready for set number 2 here. And no changes for either side, as we'll begin with Natalie Little serving for NC.
Well, they had 2 months to kind of think about what went wrong in those 3 of 4 games. Obviously, they lost against Fanshawe at home, but it's almost, at some point, you almost want to have a short-term memory and keep going again. But they had 2 months to work on their game, and we'll see if they can show that off here.
Little a deep serve, and that one a little too deep as it goes out the back end. And NC will start set number 2 with a missed serve. And Mohawk will respond right back as Olivia Rosewell puts that one into the net.
Noah, you mentioned how Mohawk has lost 4 of 5. They've lost to some very good teams, Humber, St. Clair, 2 of them. So potentially a bit misleading, but you still never want to lose 4 or 5.
Spoljar trying to tip that one deep, and Little got a hand on it, but it wasn't playable up in the net from Cormier and Baxter, who were sitting there looking to keep it alive, and it's a 2-1 start here for Mohawk.
And Noah, to add on to my point, their only win in that 5-game set was against Boreal on the road, so keep that in mind.
Nice serve from Rattray was dug up by Gooder. Her swing on the outside, tight to the net, and Spoljar's gonna have to throw that one deep. To the middle, Cormier, and took a deflection. Rattray got the dig, and she puts it back down. Can't give her 2 opportunities like that. Eventually, she'll make you pay. She did that time, and now Kylie Baxter gonna serve tied 2-2 here. Baxter's floater passed up by Rosewell to go to the outside. Gibbons trying to tip over. She'll replay it off the block. Spoljar into the Twin Towers of Sam Cormier. And Montana Taylor that time coming together with a big block, and Kylie Baxter going to continue serving. Baxter's deep floater looking for that back corner, and she couldn't locate it. And Beck doing a good job that time, keeping an eye on it as it sailed out the back.
Well, in that first set, both teams did a pretty good job of serving. I would actually even say great job, but in this set here, some starting to leak both teams off the serve.
NC having to put over a free ball. Battersby gonna go to Spoljar. Just can't find the corner. And NC catch a break there as Spoljar misses out the back. So here's Abby Gooder, fourth year to St. Catharines, Ontario. Well-known name here at NC. She hits an ace on that play and gives the Knights a 5-3 lead here.
Yeah, no, when you think about Niagara College sports, Montana Taylor is definitely one of the names you think about. She's been here for 5, technically 6 years.
Spoljar off the net, having to roll that one over. Delohe able to pass Gooder out of the back row, and she couldn't keep it in play. So now Sophia Spoljar going to serve here for Mohawk in her 4th season here for the Mountaineers. Longest standing Mohawk player here today, as Little was blacked up at the net. And that was Battersby coming together with Maggie Galen with a huge rejection on Natalie Little. Tipped over on 2 by Taylor, and a smart play as she caught the Mountaineers off guard and put her right into the pot and took the point back. 6-5 now for NC. Here's Sam Cormier now serving for the Knights. Standing full, passed up by Spoljar. Battersby tipped over, and a great decision from Maggie Galen. Has nobody there for the Knights. That one drops down. And the Mountaineers tie it again here at 6.
Yeah, another competitive set here. Obviously not up here at 6, but going back to last set, still very, very competitive.
Galen now serving, finds the tape. And another missed serve for Mohawk. So here's Montana Taylor serving now for the Knights. Floater passed up by Spoljar. Battersby to the outside, into the net once again, as Rosewell couldn't clear the tape, and NC take another one here, 8-6. Taylor's serve, a good one. Beck got down well though, and was able to keep it up, and Rosewell met at the net once again. And NC now 3 straight points here. They're up 9-6.
Yeah, starting to build a little bit of momentum here. This first set has been back and forth, but you always want to get the first big run of a set.
Spoljar places one with hands this time. Right out of the middle, blocked by Tess Kelly. And NC continues the run here, 10-6 now. Taylor's serve finds the net, and that'll end her serving run. Third missed serve here in set number 2 for the Knights.
Definitely night and day when it comes to serving for really both teams in this set compared to the first. Both teams were pretty clean for the most part, but 3 service errors here for Niagara.
Battersby a good serve. Little soaring up, puts it down. Huge hit on the offside for Natalie Little. And takes the point right back, 11-7. She's gonna go back serving. Wow, what a swing.
Wow, I was right. Laying the hammer there, Natalie Little.
Little takes a little off that serve that time. Almost caught the Mountaineers as Rattray puts that one out the back. And the Knights will take a 12-7 lead. Mohawk is going to take their first timeout here in set number 2. 5-point lead for the Knights.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout there. Definitely Niagara had a run of their own going, but especially when there's a big play like what we saw from Natalie, that builds momentum. And Mohawk down 5 early in this second set, as we're going to get a replay of that hit from Natalie Little.
NC hasn't really been attacking that well, but wow, nothing you can do about that if you're the Mountaineers. They've really just been taking advantage mostly of Mohawk's mistakes, but if they can get their swings going, it should be day and night for the Knights. As right now they have a big 5-point lead here in set number 2, looking to go up 2-0 after they took the first set 25-21 just moments ago.
Well, if you could replicate Natalie's hit there, I'm pretty sure you do that 100 times out of 100. That was incredible.
So out of the timeout here, it will be Natalie Little serving once again for the Knights.
We talk about veteran leadership for Niagara. Obviously, Montana Taylor headlines that, but don't sleep on Natalie Little. She is an alumni of Brock University here, just down the 406 in her second year from Chatham.
First year here for NC. And wow, she's been a big piece for the Knights on that left side. Just out. As that one was tipped over the block, but couldn't stay in. Gibbons trying to get the point back for the Mountaineers, but it's 13-7 now for the Knights. Little's floater, back passes, Battersby gonna go to the outside, and that one sent way long from Rosewell. And the Knights continuing where they left off before the timeout.
Doubling up Mohawk here.
Little's floater, Rosewell passes. She'll get it back and will send it down the line, no touch. Mohawk thought there was one. And that one was set down the back, 15-7 now, and Mohawk's gonna make a substitution here. As Hannah Lavallee will check in. The second year out of Milton, Ontario. She's gonna come and play right side in for Olivia Rosewell. And too far out the back for Little. And miss serve for NC will end the run, 15-8.
Noah, the scary part for Mohawk is obviously they only have 8 points, but half of them have come off service errors from the Knights.
Lavallee, her first serve since checking in. Kelly out of the middle, dug up by Beck, tight to the net. And Gibbons was just able to keep it up, but they're gonna say 4 hits as that one never got over. And now NC gonna make the same substitution they did in set number 1 as Charlie Trudell will check in for Tess Kelly.
Niagara on a 10-2 run here after this one started at 6-6.
Trudell's serve off the tape and wasn't going to be in between the lines. That one out once again. She goes 0 for 2 since she's been subbed in. 16-9, Mohawks serving. And it's Jaden Rattray behind the line. Her serve, a deep one looking for the back line. Couldn't find it. And another missed serve. That's the third for Mohawk here in this set.
Bad serves has really been the story of this second set. The first one was pretty much both teams throwing haymakers, but this one's been missed serves.
Baxter, a great serve, and Mohawk's gonna have to pull it over a deep ball. Taylor on the run, able to keep it up for Gooder. Down the line, can't keep it in. No touch on the block. And Mohawk takes one back, 17-10. Gibbons serve passed up by Delohe. Taylor gonna go to the middle. That one behind Cormier. She made do of it. Spoljar off the net. Delohe with another great dig. Baxter out of the back row, and Beck able to keep it alive. Spoljar twisting, and a tough swing for her, well off the net. She finds it. And NC now leading 18-10.
Firmly on the gas pedal here, Noah.
So here's Abby Gooder serving for the Knights. Standing float, catches the tape, and Beck all over the floor. Gets another one up here for Mohawk. Cormier out of the middle, Beck with another dig. That one rolled over, and NC can try again. Taylor tight for Little, punches it down the line, and took a touch off hands off Gibbons. And NC with another side out here, 19-10. They're leading. Mohawk's gonna take their second timeout. And it's gonna take a lot here to try and turn this one around. NC now pushing 6.
Yeah, 13-4 run for Niagara. When you're on that much of a run, it's hard to come back, especially in this where it's first to 25, but it's been really night and day compared to the first 2 sets, because Mohawk and Niagara were going back and forth, like I mentioned in that first set, but it's been all Niagara here. And I alluded to it earlier, Niagara has 5 service errors, so it's half of Mohawk's points, so which isn't a good sign, because you're down by 9 with half of your points being given to you.
And if NC had missed those 5 serves, they'd be up even more here in this one as we take a look at that last replay. And we won't get a chance to, but we'll come back out of the timeout. Abby Gooder continues serving here for the Knights. NC leading. Deep serve from Gooder, and Mohawk's gonna have to play over a free ball. Baxter, tight for Taylor. Cormier off the side of the block and down, and now NC's pushing 5.
Doubling up, like I mentioned, Mohawk here. Sam Cormier starting to get going a little bit here. She's been kind of quiet, but I don't think she's really complaining, considering the Knights are 5 points away from their second set of the day.
Spoljar rolling that one down the line, and I believe it hit the antenna, so that one out of play. 21-10 now, and NC continuing to run away here with set number 2 as they look to double up on their set lead. Gooder's float passed up by Spoljar, so he'll get it back on the outside, coming into the middle. Oh, wow, and Cormier threw it straight down, but it came off the head of Spoljar, and she was able to keep it up, but Taylor says, I'll just do it myself, and she puts it down for good.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Montana Taylor getting that point there. I couldn't believe that Sam didn't get that kill there, but nonetheless, Niagara still getting the point.
Beck passes a good one to the middle. It was kept alive by NC, and they put it right down. A good read as Battersby was trying to tip that one over into the pot. And I believe Little got up and got hands on it. 23-10 now for the Knights. And just a dominant second set for them.
Well, it's been the interior front that have really done it for the Knights.
Spoljar passes. Battersby off the net. We'll have to toss it up for Gibbons, who will roll it down. Little offense, and Lafley couldn't get it up. And now it's set point here for the Knights, 24-10.
If you look at the experience of the interior fronts for both of these teams, Niagara certainly favored in that statistic.
Battersby to the middle, twisting around was Galen, and she finds a point there. Might have took a tip off NC nonetheless. Mohawk finds their 11 point, 24-11 now. And Lavalley going to check out back for Olivia Rosewell, who will come into the front row. So here's Spoljar. Tough serve, passed up. Cormier going to have to help out with hands. To the middle, tipped over. Baxter with the dig. Taylor to Little. And blocked up in the net. And down for Mohawk. And now it's 24-12.
Yeah, especially when you're down by a number like this, it's almost good to get some momentum going into the third set.
Oh, an ace for Spoljar as it caught Little. Not much you can do about that. Touches the tape and rolls off the net.
You just kind of have to tip your cap. I thought that was going to be a service error, but a bit of an unlucky bounce for the Knights.
Spoljar that time puts it cleanly over. Little gets it right back and puts it to bed. 25-13. So Mohawk delays the second set win for NC. But the Knights come away now, and they're up 2-0 here against the Mountaineers, looking for revenge on their previous meeting.
As you mentioned, Mohawk beat Niagara 3-1 at home on October 30th. So a very, very long time ago. These two teams are completely different. It's a completely different story as we see today, but a lot to like for Niagara.
Natalie Little putting on a show here for the Knights. She's been swinging excellently on the outside, and she put that one away to give NC a 2-0 set lead. I'm Noah Vogel, alongside me, Alex Vandenheck, here with you for the first OCAA game back here at the Simply Financial Athletic Center in the new year of 2025, and NC looking to start off the 2025 calendar year with a big win over their rivals in Mohawk. As we take a look at that replay once again, Little around the block and down, and nothing you can do about that if you're the Mountaineers.
Yeah, the interior front for Niagara, I've mentioned it before, more experience and overall just more size, so not much you can really do. The interior front for Niagara has been their strong suit all season. Look at the likes of Natalie Little, Montana Taylor, Tess Kelly. Those three, they've just been dominant here today, and it shows how good they are, and if they want to make some noise down the stretch, it's going to have to come from those three.
So a steep hill to climb now for Mohawk, who have gone down 2-0 after the first two sets. NC just needing one more to put this game to bed.
You know, it's funny, Noah, I mentioned in the first set that this game felt like it was going to be really close, and it was the complete opposite in that second set. I think Mohawk is better than what they showed in that second set, but it's going to take a lot for them to come back here, in danger of losing 5 of their last 6.
So here we go for set number 3. And no changes for the Knights as they come out onto the court for a chance to sweep Mohawk here at home. So here we go for set number 3. If you're just joining us, NC taking the last set 25-13 in the first 25-21. They got a 2-0 set lead, a chance here to put this one away. And Mohawk gonna stick with the same lineup as the first 2 sets. And they'll come out starting here with serve.
Noah, I mentioned how Mohawk is in danger of losing 5 of 6 games, but I'm looking at the schedule here. They've got a really tough end of the season. Thursday, January 30th at Humber, and then Sunday, February 3rd at St. Clair. So they're going to need to get some wins now, otherwise they're in jeopardy of falling even further down the standings.
Battersby serve. It was an overpass from NC. They'll go to Rosewell on the outside. She's able to play it again off the block. She'll try once more. This time she pushes it down. And a good arm from Taylor, able to keep it alive. And Baxter puts it away. Big swing from the left side for Kylie Baxter. And starts it off right for the Knights, a 1-0 lead.
Kylie Baxter, usually as the libero, not today, but she's, we mentioned before, the jack of all trades on this team.
Battersby to the middle. Gibbons can't get it over as Tess Kelly put enough pressure on that attempt, and NC takes a quick 2-0 lead.
Looking at the Knights' schedule here, like Mohawk, they've still got a game against St. Clair and Humber. So both of these two teams having...
Oh, wow. Even Montana Taylor couldn't believe that one went in. It was a soft swing from Rosewell on the outside, but perfect amount of pace on it. She kisses the line, and Mohawk gets their first side out here of set number 3.
Well, if you can get Montana Taylor's attention, then it was probably a pretty good play.
Delohe can't handle the serve, and Rosewell with back-to-back points and an ace there.
Yeah, she's usually pretty even-keeled. She's got tons of experience, but as I was saying, if you can get her respect, that was probably a pretty dang good play.
And after the ace, Rosewell puts that one out. And NC will regain their advantage, 3-2. Kelly's serve passed it by Beck. Battersby coming across. Cormier could put it down. She'll retry. Battersby to Spoljar. Cross court. Can't find it. As that one just squeaks out. And Tess Kelly will continue serving here. Down the line, can't find it, it was just out. As NC missed their first serve here in set number 3. Here's Jane Rattray for Mohawk. Passed up by Gooder. Taylor gonna go to Baxter on the outside, and Rattray with a big dig out of the back row. Mohawk having to put over a free ball. They'll go to Baxter once more, and it's dug up again. Mohawk good defensively here on this rally. Taylor getting in on the action. Gooder on the outside, just mishit it and found the mesh. And we're tied here 4-4 in set number 3. Rattray serve, a laser over at Little. She was able to get it up. Gooder tips it over the block, and it's played up. Here's Rattray over to Spoljar down the line. Dug up again by Montana Taylor. Baxter blocked up in the net, and Mohawk takes the lead here in set number 3.
Niagara getting a taste of their own medicine there with that rejection. We talked about how dominant this interior line for Niagara has been, getting a taste of their own medicine there.
So Rattray continuing to serve here. A bit of a run for her here in this one, and Cormier rejected up in the net. And Mohawks come out in this set with some spirit here, trying to come back from a 2-0 set lead.
It's completely completely night and day.
Another great serve from Rattray. Gooder able to pass this time. They'll go to Cormier. She having to tip that one over. Mohawk will go to the middle. NC puts it over on one. That time they can't figure it out. And Cormier was there to stuff it. And NC sides out now down 1.
Yeah, this set so far hasn't been pretty, like from what we saw in the last set with a lot of beautiful plays from both teams, you could even say, but this one definitely feels like it's going to be very, very competitive.
Mohawk to the outside and tooled off of the outside of Montana Taylor, and Sophia Spoljar, when called upon, has been able to answer most of the time here from Mohawk. She's been excellent. Here's Ashley Gibbons now for the Mountaineers. Her serve goes over to Gooder on the outside. A little miscommunication there as Rosewell was reaching across. It looked like Beck maybe had a play on it. And that one drops down on the side of Mohawk. And so now it'll be Gooder going to serve for NC. Gooder's floater is an ace. And she's got another one here this afternoon. She'll tie things up now, as Rosewell just got caught a little bit handcuffed. And that one shanks out the back. Gooder once again going at Rosewell. This time she passes up perfectly. Spoljar on the outside, right down the back corner. And Spoljar again answering the bell. She'll go back serving now for Mohawk. Gooder, high pass. Cormier out of the right side. And just able to reach around the block and find the line. And NC answers right back.
Sam Cormier has been kind of quiet here today, but we know what she's capable of, and I'm sure she's going to have a dominant third and final set, hopefully.
Beck passes a little bit off the net. Battersby having to chase for it. Cormier got down. She got a hand on it, but wasn't enough to keep it up. Rosewell with a kill. Nice serve there by Galen. They'll go to the outside with Little, and she's able to get a dig there on the back row. Tooled it off the block. Did Olivia Rosewell, and Mohawk's now got a 2-point lead here. Fighting their way back here in a must-win set number 3. And that time she puts it into the net.
In that second set, no, I believe it was 6-6 tied, and then Niagara went on, I believe, a 19-4. It was actually 19-6, excuse me, run to close out that second set. So we'll see if Niagara can get going like that again. But a run like that is definitely hard to replicate.
Shipper checks back in for NC. She puts that one down, but it's kept alive by Mohawk. Taylor to Shipper out of the middle. Huge block in the net. As Jaden Rattray cut up with big hands and put that one down on NC. And Mohawk with life here in this third set. Here's Battersby serve. Delohe passes. Taylor, tight one for Little, off the antenna. And Mohawk sides out once again.
Getting kind of near that timeout.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Alex. As Steve Stone takes his first time out here in the set.
Yeah, that's almost one of the few times where I feel like the momentum has been strictly in Mohawk's favor. There's some things that they'll have to talk over, but it's almost a tale of two different teams compared to the first and third sets and the second set. Obviously, Mohawk lost that first set, but it was still very competitive. They only lost by 3 or 4, I believe.
We would like to acknowledge the U15 Rapids volleyball team that's in attendance today. Thank you for coming out and attending today's game. Go Knights, go!
So out of the timeout, a round of applause for the Niagara Rapids volleyball team who came out to watch here this afternoon. And good to see the fans of NC out here supporting the women's volleyball team here as they look to put this one to bed here in 3 sets. They're up 2-0, but now down in this one. 12-9 Mohawk leads. Little out of the timeout. Responds for the Knights, and a much needed side out for NC.
Yeah, Niagara was leaking oil there, and getting off to a good start out of the timeout is always big.
So here is said Natalie Little serving now. Rosewell had that one come off her hands a little bit off the net as Alohi chases after that roll shot. Little with a big shot out of the back and was met there by Spoljar. Little tries once more. Spoljar answers. Rattray out of the middle, tips that one over. Gooder with a great read. Tipped into the middle, kept alive, and Spoljar puts over a free ball. What a rally this is. Gooder on the outside, kept alive again by Mohawk. Taylor to Kelly on the outside, put down by the Mountaineers, and a huge momentum lifter for Mohawk as they take a 3-point lead once again.
That's a rally that can change your season. There's probably 2 or 3 A+ defensive plays there for the Mountaineers, and obviously they've struggled, so looking to build some more momentum off of that play.
Taylor to Gooder trying to respond, looking for touches, none coming, as that one was wailed out the back, and Mohawk takes their biggest lead here in the third set, 14-10. Rosewell serve too deep as it goes out the back. So that will cue in Jenna Main here for Tess Kelly. She'll come in and serve. Main serve, Rosewell passes. They'll go to Spoljar, soaring in from the left side, but it was defended well that time by the Knights, and Shipper just couldn't get her full hand behind it as that one crumbles into the net. 15-11 now for Mohawk. Tess Kelly will check back in for Jenna Main, who came in to serve. So here's Jaden Rattray, can't find the court. And that'll bring back Kylie Baxter, who will come in for Larissa Shipper. She'll come back and serve. Baxter's floater passed up. They'll go to the middle, tipped over. Taylor able to get hands on it. They'll go back to her on the right side as Taylor with a big swing, but it's kept alive by Mohawk, and they couldn't get it over. Gibbons couldn't reach far enough.
Niagara's starting to get a little bit of momentum back after the big run from Mohawk, and get down to 2.
Baxter finds the net and gives the point right back to Mohawk. So now serving for the Mountaineers, Ashley Gibbons. As she throws over a floater, passed up by Delohe. Taylor to Little out of the back row, and that cannon was dug up well by Rosewell. Spoljar pushes it down the line. Little keeps it alive. Delohe gonna have to throw over a free ball. Wrapping around, but met at the net by Abby Gooder as Galen finds her match. Abby Gooder with a huge block. And she'll now go and serve down 2 here, RNC. Gooder, shallow float, passed up. Spoljar on the outside, able to keep it alive off hands. Spoljar reloads. She'll get it again off the net after Baxter put it over on the first attempt. She'll get it here now to the back row. Rosewell takes it up to the middle again. Cormier with the stuff. And NC have now made their way back, only down 1.
Sam Cormier really getting going in this third set. I'd mentioned she's been a little bit quiet, but we know that Sam Cormier can do big, big things.
Gooder, a tough one for Beck. She got it up. Battersby chasing, and she couldn't keep it alive. And NC have now tied things up here. Gooder looking to continue her run here in this set. Battersby chasing, Spoljar having to roll it over, but it was met once again. Sam Cormier with a good read, and expect a timeout here from Mohawk, and it will come as the Mountaineers take their first here in set number 3. Complete flip of the script. NC was down as much as 4, now they lead by 1.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's been a 7-3 run here, I believe. No, 7-2, excuse me. Run here for Niagara. Getting back into this game. There were some moments where it didn't look too good, but Niagara showing a ton of resilience throughout the whole game. When Mohawk is going on a run of their own, they've responded, and that's what teams that want to do noise in the playoffs do.
So NC take back the advantage, taking a look at that last play. Spoljar trying to roll it over. And great hang time from Sam Cormier, able to keep her hands up and straight as she puts that one down to give NC the lead back here in set number 3. Trying to finish things off after taking the first 2 sets here against the Mountaineers.
Sam Cormier, 6'2", from just down the 406 from St. Catharines, Ontario.
So here's Abby Gooder out of the timeout. Deep float, play with hands by Rosewell. They'll have to toss it up for Spoljar, who can't keep it in. Two-point advantage now for the Knights. Gooder's serve, a deep one. Beck able to play it up. Spoljar on the outside, and she's rejected once again. Sam Cormier and Montana Taylor come together with a huge block. And 19-16 now. Gooder's floater. Spoljar comes across to pass it. She'll have to hang a little bit over. Oh my goodness, what a shot across. The court finds the line, and a tough angle to hit from, and Spoljar able to keep it in play.
Can't really draw that up much better. If you're Niagara, you almost just have to tip your cap. When I saw it, I didn't think it was going to get over.
What a get by Gooder. Cormier out of the middle. That one a little bit low. She made do with it. Little down the line. Paints it. And NC now pushing 5 here in set number 3. Charlize Trudell going to check in for the Knights. And she'll come in for Sam Cormier to serve.
Haven't seen a ton of Charlize here today in this first game of 2025. She definitely got a lot of run towards the end of 2024, but Charlize Trudell looking to get her first ace of the Big 2-5.
Trudell's serve, and a tough afternoon for her. She's come in all 3 sets and has missed each serve. And she'll check back out for Sam Cormier. So now back serving for Mohawk is Maggie Galen. Deep float passed up by Delohi. Taylor to the middle. Kelly can't keep it in. And Mohawk hanging around here. 2019 now.
Very quietly getting it back down to 1. I feel like all the momentum was in Niagara's favor, and it just slowly but surely getting it back down to 1.
Another deep float. Taylor gonna have to pass with arms. Little able to keep it alive. Taylor gets the point right back, and NC pushing 4 now. Taylor's float finds the net. And again, NC hurting themselves in the latter half of sets with missed serves.
Well, if this set goes in Mohawk's favor, definitely can take a look back at the service errors. That was number 4 committed by the Knights.
Taylor gonna go back to Little. She fanned on it a little bit, but is able to keep it up. Wow, what a swing on the outside, Rosewell. And we're back tied up here, not at 21. And Steve Soames gonna call his final timeout here. And NC did an excellent job after their original to get back into this game. Mohawk took a timeout in response after NC took the lead, and now we're tied up again. It's been back and forth here as we're tied here at 21.
Yeah, well, this is why you play is these close sets like this. Mohawk, obviously a very good team of their own. It's surprising that that second set was as lopsided as it was, but when it's a rivalry game, you expect it to be close. No matter the difference of the two teams, as we'll get a replay upcoming, but obviously, Noah, you know firsthand how fun these rivalry games can be.
Certainly, and NC trying to sweep here at home against the Mountaineers would be a perfect start to 2025. We saw that play from Montana Taylor, just great instinct to play that one first time on the net. And was able to give the Knights a lead, and Mohawk has found their way back here.
Obviously,
we're tied now.
This is very far-fetched, but if Niagara can sweep this Mohawk team, that's a big win to start off your calendar. You're taking down your rivals and sweeping a very good Mohawk team.
Oh, and that one tips over the net. And an ace right out of the timeout for Megan Battersby. And Mohawk now taking the lead here. And again, this win would not only move NC to 8-4, it would move them above Mohawk in the standings to 3rd place. Oh, and that one got right through Gooder and Delohi. Back-to-back aces for Battersby. And NC needing to figure out their serve receive here. 23-21.
This game at times has had playoff feelings to it, and I bet
NC catch a break as Battersby finds the net.
down the end of this set, and assuming we get another one, it's going to feel like playoff volleyball.
Well, and this set felt much more like the first when it was 25-21, NC taking that one out. Very back and forth. Rosewell able to play that one over the block. NC will try their own. Kelly just kind of lost sight of how close she was to the net and couldn't get it over. Now NC have found themselves in a hole. Mohawk with set point. Trying to extend it to a 4th set here. Here's Olivia Rosewell. Cross court, catches Kelly, and an ace. And Mohawk, who looked much better in that 3rd set, come out with a very deserved win.
Absolutely. Both the 1st and 3rd set, both very, very competitive, and obviously that 2nd set was not. We'll see if that 2nd set Mohawk will look back upon as that was more competitive, or even winning that set, that could have costed them the game. But short-term memory, which you have to give Mohawk credit, because when you're on that big of a deficit there, sometimes you can get rattled and in your own head, but almost a goldfish memory to go into the next set and be very competitive with a great Niagara Knights team.
Mohawk started off strong in that set. NC pushed back, but the Mountaineers able to take that one out, and we're going to a fourth set as NC's still leading 2-1 here in this one. As we take a look at one of those replays from that set number 3 win for the Mountaineers. And their serve and passing was just better than NC in that one, and that was one of the aces from Battersby. Came out of the timeout cold from that Steve Stone timeout he called, and she came in and put back-to-back aces in and really changed those last 4 points for Mohawk, which led them to that set 3 win.
Well, obviously the momentum was all in Mohawk's favor, and you take the timeout to calm things down and try to get momentum back in your favor. When you get an ace like that, it just keeps your foot on the pedal.
So we're moments away here from set number 4. NC still with the advantage, 2-1, they lead. As Mohawk took set number 3 just moments ago, as we took a look at one of their points from that set, which gave them the set win. That was the winner for Olivia Rosewell, and their serving just at the end there took NC down, and they'll try and possibly force a fifth here, pardon me.
Olivia Rosewell, first-year player, certainly not looking like a first year, playing for her hometown Mohawk Mountaineers.
So here we go for set number 4. No changes on either side.
Interesting to say, Steve Stone, we know he likes to make lots of adjustments, especially with his personnel, but it seems like he's really relied on his top 7 or 9 players here, which usually could go deep into the bench, but not here today.
So here we go. We'll start things off with Natalie Little back serving for the Knights. And a killer game she's had so far, trying to kill off the Mountaineers here in this 4th set. Battersby going to go the outside. Rosewell blocked at the net. And NC with a big start up at the tape as Tess Kelly and Kylie Baxter put that one down.
Tess Kelly was kind of quiet in that 3rd set, but especially in that second set, she was electric.
Battersby got down to get that one up and have to throw over a free ball. Gooder able to recycle. They'll go to Baxter, tight set to the net. Beck kept it alive, what a get. Mohawk gonna have to throw over a free ball as they go with Rosewell. NC now, that set just came off the hands wrong from Taylor, and Rosewell trying to put it down, but Taylor with a huge dig. Baxter deep corner, Battersby to Rosewell on the outside. She reloads, and a little too strong as she sends that one deep out the back. Here's Natalie Little. Back passes that floater. They'll go to the middle with Galen, and a good get by Delohe. Tight for Gooder. Able to recycle. NC will try again. Read that time by the Mountaineers. So throw it down the line, and a great play. Heads up recognition from Rosewell as she finds the court in behind the Knights. And we'll side out here for the first point for the Mountaineers. Now serving Mally Galen for Mohawk. Deep floater. It was passed up by Little. Baxter on the outside. Galen plays it up for Rosewell. NC's turn. Here's Gooder down the line. Kept alive by Mohawk. They have to throw over a free ball. Taylor to the middle. Kelly over the block and down. Sweet hands up in the net from Tess Kelly as she finds the space behind the block, and she'll go back serving now for the Knights. Kelly, an ace, as it caught Rosewell, and looks like she jammed her finger on that serve receive. As you can see her wincing over on the Mohawk side. Nonetheless, she'll stay in the game here. Tess Kelly gonna serve again. Kelly's floater, this time passed up by Spoljar. Running across and blocked at the net as Gooder stayed up and got the hands up on Rattray.
Great start here for Niagara, 5-1 for the Knights. Obviously, last set was very, very competitive, but you always like to get off to a good start.
Tess Kelly once again was served. Rosewell on the outside. Kind of caught that one funny and almost got Gooder, but she's able to get it up. Rolled over the tape and just out of play from Natalie Little. And 5-2 now. Mohawk with the side out. So here's Megan Battersby. Her serve goes out the back. That'll cue up Kylie Baxter serving now for the Knights. Baxter's serve passed up by Rosewell. They'll go outside to Gibbons. Paints the line, and a great shot for Ashley Gibbons. And she's quietly had a very, very strong game. Wherever she's hitting, she's been hitting out of the middle, right side, and the left side that time. Rosewell's floater. Cormier out of the middle, can't find the court. And no touches up of the block. 6-4 now, Mohawk has found themselves back into this one. Delohe leaning back, and Baxter's gonna have to play that one back into the middle as Taylor puts over a free ball. Spoljar dug up by Little. Gooder will try this time. Spoljar with the dig. Rolls well out of the back row, couldn't keep it in. And a good lead by Delohe as she watched that one soar by. 7-4 now for NC. Nice pass by Spoljar. She'll get it back on the outside, and Baxter will dig it up. Little to the middle. Gibbons flips one over. Taylor to Cormier. Over top of the Mountaineers defense, and Sam Cormier with another kill.
Sam Cormier looking like the Sam Cormier that we always know and love to see, the stud for the Knights.
Spoljar rolling that one over, took a touch off Cormier. Taylor on the 2-ball, and she just mishit it as that one sails out the side. As a reminder, after the conclusion of this one, whether it's here in set number 4 or if we get pushed to a set number 5, if Mohawk's able to win 2 in a row here. Little on the outside, and she sails it out the back. Will be the men's slate. And what a big game that will be for the men's side for NC after losing to Mohawk in Hamilton 3-0 to the Mountaineers. And both very strong volleyball programs in the OCAA as that one sent out the back. As NC in the first part of the season 6-5, Mohawk 5-7. Very, very close near that middle part of the West Division. It should be a very exciting matchup after the conclusion of this one.
Yeah, if Mohawk wants to catch up to Niagara, they're going to have to win this matchup.
And that's going to be NC point.
Here at about 3 o'clock, but they lost 3-0 against Fanshawe at home, so both teams getting swept. Got to have a short-term memory looking to get back into the win column.
So here's Sam Cormier, NC up 10-6 here in this fourth set, trying to put this one away, and she'll send that one out the back. So here's Ashley Gibbons serving for the Mohawk Mountaineers. Deep floater passed up by Delohi. They'll go to Kelly out of the middle, and a great dig by Gibbons. Taylor gonna load up on the outside. Beck with another dig. Spoljar pushes that one into the pot, and it's kept alive by Gooder. Little kept it in. Wow, what a get. They'll go to Spoljar on the outside. Gooder with another dig. Taylor on the 2-ball. Oh yeah! NC turning it up here in set number 4, and what a rally that was, defensively and offensively for the Knights.
I can't believe Natalie Little got that ball over. I thought it was over there, but Natalie Little doing it both offensively and defensively for the Knights.
Taylor with a laser of a serve, passed up. Spoljar rolls it over. Taylor got hands on it. Kelly tight to the net, and Taylor able to put it back over. Battersby to Spoljar, tight tip. Delohi racing for it, and NC gonna have to put over a free ball. Here comes Mohawk. Battersby to Spoljar. Touched off the top of the block, and NC caught on the net, and Mohawk point.
Couple of great rallies here between these two teams.
Sophia Spoljar now serving for the Mountaineers. Kelly on her offside, and she puts it in between the block and down. Just swung on that one hard on the near side. And able to side out right back for the Knights. Here's Natalie Little. Little's floater passed up. Outside this time. Delohi getting down. Able to keep it alive. Battersby, Roseland. Oh yeah! Great set run by Mohawk that time. And pardon me, Rosewell coming in from that outside to the middle. And she swung right in between the block. A huge kill for the Mountaineers, now down 3. Serve coming in from Galen. That one tight to the net for Taylor, and Shipper plays it over. She got sucked in for Kylie Baxter just moments ago. And she gets into the action here. Jenna Main gonna check back in for Tess Kelly. She's gonna serve.
Seen a bit more of Jenna Main here. Obviously, Charlize Trudell struggling here today. You don't see that very often, but.
Main serve passed up by Rosewell. On the wraparound, catches the outside of Gooder, and a huge swing from Jaden Rattray. So here's Megan Battersby, catches the top of the tape, but Little was up to the task, and Gooder with a strong push off the hands, able to wipe it off the block. 14-10 now, NC leads. And Baxter's gonna check back in for Shipper. She'll go back and serve. Baxter's floater came off the arms of Beck a little funny, and wow, a huge shot was dug up by Baxter. Gibbons out of the middle, tips that one over. Redwell, 2-ball from Taylor, put down. Beck got a touch to it, but couldn't keep it up. And now NC take a 5-point lead here. And Mohawk's gonna call their first timeout as NC takes their biggest lead of the 4th set, looking to end things here.
Yeah, Niagara getting back into the driver's seat of that 4th set. But a good timeout there from Mohawk after the momentum getting back into Niagara's favor.
So NC responding well after losing set number 3. After Mohawk pushed it to a 4th set, and they lead by 5 here, 15-10. Mohawk needing a bit of a reset here out of this timeout. Had a hard time putting balls away after the Knights have continued to look excellent on defense with a plethora of digs from all personnel for the Knights this afternoon. And when they're defending well, can really put any team to bed like they did in that 2nd set when they took down the Mountaineers 25-13.
Well, no, the best offense is a good defense.
And so out of the timeout, it'll be Kylie Baxter serving. Second year out of Whitecourt, Alberta. Oh, ow, wow. What a swing from Jaden Ratrage on the outside, and she completely killed that ball, and nothing NC could do about it. Perfect response out of the timeout for the Mountaineers.
Well, that's a momentum-building play, which, being down 5, now 4, that's a play you'll need to build off of.
Gooder, a tough pass for Taylor to handle. She's able to put it over, and Spoljar will roll that one. Gooder will get it on the outside, and it was a good touch on the block by Gibbons. She'll get it here now. Tips that one over. Delow he gets. They'll go to Little out of the back row, trying to find the corner, and she puts it out. And it's 15-12 now, 2 straight points for the Mountaineers. Olivia Rosewell, serve put into the net. And we'll hand the point right back to NC.
NC done a much better job containing their serves in the set. No service errors yet to speak of in this 4th set.
Gooder serve passed up by Spoljar. Rattray tipping that one over, and almost played on a lift by Taylor, but they keep it alive here. Spoljar dug up again. Gibbons backing up is dug once more by Gooder. Little. Mohawk turn. Spoljar tips it over the block, and Taylor got a touch, but no cover in behind. And that one drops down for the Mountaineers, 16-13 now. Here's Rattray. Passed up by Delohe. Mohawk will reset. Spoljar having to punch that one over. Cormier on the outside. She's stuffed up the net. And Mohawk has turned things around here after the timeout. They're down 2.
4-1 run here in this, after that first timeout for Mohawk.
Mohawk looking to extend this one to a 5th set. Cormier, great decision as she floats that one over the block and down. And sides out once again for the Knights. As we'll see the first introduction here of Tegan Hinman, who will check in for NC. She'll come in for Sam Cormier and serve. Hinman's serve is passed up by Rosewell, overpass. And now NC will try on the outside with Kelly. A huge swing on the wraparound, and she finds the space behind the Mountaineers defense.
Niagara with a bit of a response to that mini run from Mohawk.
Heineman, another player from out of town here for NC. She's from Manitoba in her first year for the Knights. Another good serve from her. Little on the outside. Too much power from Natalie Little. And a big kill for her. She's been excellent in this game.
Yeah, Natalie Little certainly bringing the boom here today.
Here's Heineman once more. Another great serve from the first year, and that one gets in behind NC. A great swing from Galen. And now Ashley Gibbons going to go back serving. And Steve Stone's going to take a timeout. Hyman checking back out for Sam Cormier. And it's 19-15. NC still up by 4. Turn things around after Mohawk was making a little bit of a pushback here in this set, trying to send things to a 5th.
I'm a little surprised they used it quite there. But like you said, Mohawk was definitely building some momentum. But obviously you can't go home. We can't use your timeouts in the next set if we have one. But I've liked a lot of what I've seen from Niagara in this third set. Have been very, very good with their serves. No service errors yet, knock on wood.
And a huge performance today from Natalie Little, and that's what you expect from the Brock alumni. She's been incredible here on the left side. She picked up another kill just before the timeout. As NC now pushing 6 as they look to take revenge here on the Mountaineers after losing to them away from home 3-1. They'll try and do the same here at home to start 2025. So out of the timeout, Ashley Gibbons serving for the Mountaineers. Delohe passes that floater. Taylor to Little. She rolls it down. The line is picked up by Rosewell. Spoljar able to recycle it off the block. She'll get it once more, this time off the net. And she swung right into it. And now NC pushing 5 here. So here's Montana Taylor serving now for the Knights.
20-15, right in that spot where it could get a little bit out of hand for Mohawk.
Spoljar trying to respond. It's dug up by Taylor. Little on her offside. A good swing, but is kept up by Rosewell. Bodies flying, and Little will put over a free ball. Here comes Mohawk. Spoljar trying to go cross court. Came off the block, and a good leave by Maggie Galen as that one was spinning out of bounds, and Mohawk sides out here, now down 4. Spoljar catches the tape and an ace.
Wow.
And it's now 2017. Mohawk keeping it close here down the stretch.
That's the thing, bend don't break. I believe the largest deficit for Mohawk has been 5 in this 4th set, so certainly keeping it competitive.
Baxter tries to respond, and she does. A huge kill down the outside. And Kylie Baxter brings it back to a 4-point lead for NC. Natalie Little serving once again. Rosewell passes off the net. She'll get it on the outside and fires it straight into the mesh as they're able to keep it up. Gooder over the block. Oh, wow, what a get by Beck. Emma Beck with another one of her incredible digs here. And this one, Baxter gets it back as she floats that one down the line. And a good decision there from Kylie Baxter. And Mohawk's going to take their second timeout.
I'll tell you what, Emma Beck defensively has been incredible for Mohawk. I think there's about 5 to 6 plays where you could star a beautiful dig there for Beck.
She's been incredible for Mohawk and has kept a lot of these plays alive for the Mountaineers. But that time, Baxter was able to put it away, and now NC has got a 5-point lead as we take a look at that tip over from Kylie Baxter. as Kelly was able to reset. And yeah, wow, what a get from Emma Beck to keep that one alive. And it finished off with Kylie Baxter on the outside. And just a push down the line as Mohawk wasn't able to keep it up. And we'll come out of the timeout now with NC pushing 3 here. It's Natalie Little serving. Spoljar passes. They'll go to Rosewell. Oh, big dig. Or pardon me, swing on the outside from Rosewell. And straight out of the timeout, Mohawk sides out here, 22-18.
Getting it down to 4 here, so still in reach for Mohawk, but gonna have to go on a big run here.
So now serving Maggie Galen, and she lasers that one for an ace. And the same thing that happened kind of near that part where Mohawk took set number 3. They kind of hung around and struck at the right time. And they're looking to do the same here, down 3 now.
Bend but don't break.
That one out the back, and NC catches a break as Galen misses the serve. And now NC 2 points away from the match.
Niagara also with the timeout in their back pocket, so keep that in mind down the stretch.
Tess Kelly serving, passed up by Spoljar, tight to the net, and it's flown over. Mohawk will try once more. Gooder read the tip, and she fires one down, but it's kept up by the Mountaineers. Gibbons with another dig. Rosewell on the outside. Little shanks it out the back. And Mohawk staying close here, 23-20. Keep in mind, the Knights still have a timeout here. If things get dicey here, as Megan Battersby will be serving for the Mountaineers. And oh, she gets an ace, another one for Megan Battersby. She did the same thing in set number 3, and she's got the Mountaineers within 2 now.
Perfectly placed ace there from Battersby. Have to keep an eye out for a timeout here from Steve Stone. Getting pretty dangerous.
Battersby, another good floater. And the Mountaineers put it right back down on the overpass, and it's a 1-point game. Steve Stone's gonna call that timeout now, as NC were 2 points away, leading by 4, and now the Mountaineers are within 1.
You're giving your opponent life, and obviously last set, you gave them an extra set potentially. And having, I believe it was a 5-point lead down the stretch of this set, giving them more life and making it these rallies more stressful, obviously, with the game being this competitive. It's not good, and if you're going up against one of the top teams in the OCAA and you give another team life like this, not to say Mohawk isn't a good team, of course, but let's say, looking at the standings here, like a St. Clair, if you gave them life, they're gonna run away with it.
So Mohawk a chance here to send it to a 5th set. They're down 1, 23-22 out of the timeout. Megan Battersby, who down the stretch in these past 2 sets has been excellent behind the line. Another great serve. That time it was dug up by Gooder at the net, blocked by Jaden Rare, and we're tied at 23. What a turnaround this could be, Alex, if Mohawk's able to force a 5th set.
Well, yeah, you look back at that second set, it looked like Mohawk was dead in the water, but it's just a completely different team here in this 3rd and 4th set.
Battersby sends it out the back, and it almost caught Natalie Little, who tried to get out of the way, and she did just enough. And now it's game point here for the Knights. Kylie Baxter serving. Her floater out the back, almost catches the line, and we're back tied up at 24. Extra points here in set number 4.
If we do need a 5th set, that one will be up to 15 instead of 25.
So Olivia Rosewell now serving for Mohawk. And good call, as you heard Baxter calling that one out, and NC with the advantage here, game point once again.
Well, Noah, looking at my sheet here, Mohawk with 5 service errors compared to Niagara's 1. That certainly could cost them this set and the game.
So here's Abby Gooder, 25-24. 2-1 NC set lead. Spoljar passes. She'll get it back on the outside. Gooder with the dig. Taylor, Little. That's game. Natalie Little puts it away. And the final score here in set number 4, 26-24. And NC gets their first win of 2025.
Yeah, not only that, but Mohawk now losing 5 of their last 6 that bus ride home. Won't be very happy, but also with this win, you're putting Mohawk in your rearview mirror, as Niagara now up to 8-4, Mohawk down to 8-5 with the half game advantage.
So Natalie Little puts this game to bed, and who better to give it to for game point? Natalie Little, what a performance here this afternoon, has helped lead NC to their first win of the calendar year, as the Knights will now move into 3rd in the West Division, 8-4 on the season. Mohawk dropped to 8-5. We'll take a look at that last play. A great dig from Gooder, and Natalie Little finds the court and ends this one. And now, in about 30 minutes time, we'll be back just after 3 o'clock, probably about 3:15, for the men's slate. Mohawk Mountaineers taking on the Niagara College Knights. What a game that will be, Alex.
Yeah, if that game can be even 90% of what this game was, it's going to be an incredible match. 3 of the 4 sets went right down to the wire. So I'm looking forward to that match for sure.
So what a win here for NC. Knights win the first of 2025. And we'll be back in about 30 minutes for the men's slate, as we will get you set up for the Niagara College Knights taking on the Mohawk Mountaineers. But for now, we'll sign off from myself, Noah Vogel, alongside Alex Vandenhack. We'll see you in a bit.